Hello, hello. It is Leah Simone. Welcome back to our channel, Yours, Mine, and the Divine. I'm so happy to have you guys here each week. I get so excited to do these readings. It's like the highlight of my week. So this time, you guys, I took a vote, excuse me, and there was a tie. So I may do two. I may try to do two readings this week, or I'm not sure. But this one, we are going to take a look at what is your wounded healer energy. So if you're not sure what exactly that is, your wounded healer energy is basically, it's like your empowerment energy. And what I mean by that is that this is an area in your life, in this lifetime, where you've experienced the most pain, the most struggle, the most damage. You've encountered the most wounds in this specific area. And because of that, you have such deep, intimate knowledge and wisdom. You are so tapped into that experience that you have the ability, that's your healer energy. So you have the ability to use your own experience, your own wisdom from that to help heal yourself and others. It's basically the area of your life where you have mostly learned to heal yourself, or that's the point of it. So we're going to take a look at what your wounded healer energy is. And then we're also going to look at how you can use that, how that can empower you, and what that might look like if you are. So this is my idea of how this is gonna unfold, but we'll see how it comes through. So we're gonna look at your wounded healer energy, and then we're gonna see what your wounded healer energy would look like if you integrate that into yourself, or if you're resistant to that wounded healer energy. So basically, if you are still getting super triggered by whatever these wounds are, that's you in a more resistant state. When you can recognize the situation and kind of like depersonalize it and step outside of the emotional body when you encounter certain situations relating to this wound, that's when you know you have integrated this into your life, your daily practice. So we are going to do 4 piles, you guys. So I kind of really, I've already, again, split this deck, but I really liked the way that I liked doing it on camera. So, all right. So for pile 1, Spirit, what is pile 1? What is the card that represents pile 1's wounded healer energy, please? I think it was that one, you guys. I felt that one. All right. Now, split. I feel like I just jumped right into this. I didn't even ask you guys, like, how are you guys doing? How's your week? What's been up? Seems so impersonal. All right, pile 2. Wounded healer energy for pile 2, please, Spirit. What is pile 2's wounded healer energy? Okay. Sorry if that was loud. Pile 2 doesn't want to be known. Pile 2, wounded healer energy, please, Spirit. Okay. Don't be angry, pile 2. This is for your healing. This is for your benefit. All right, pile 3. Ooh, pile 3 got 2. Okay, pile 4. So you have 4 piles to choose from, as you saw. Go with whatever you're intuitively guided towards. I already have them. Okay, so anyways, you have pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4. I'll put a picture up for you, and I will see you at your timestamps of whatever pile or piles resonate with you guys. Oh, I want to throw out this little disclaimer really quick. If you're here, anyways, I want to throw out this little disclaimer. I'm intending this to be like uplifted, upbeat. No, I don't know if upbeat is the right word, but an uplifting type of reading to help, to connect you with one of your power sources. I just get the feeling though that this might be a little bit heavy, and I feel like I need to throw out like kind of a trigger warning, because we're going to be talking about your wounds and how this is how this is your wounded healer energy. So it's probably going to bring up some experiences of your wounds. So I just want you to kind of like do a pulse check to see where you are within yourself. And if this is something that maybe you're not quite ready to listen to right now, that's fine. It'll be here. This is a timeless reading. So whenever you feel ready or called, it'll be here. If you get into it and you feel like it's too much and you need to tap out, that's all good too. But so yeah, I just wanted to throw that little disclaimer out there. But again, here are your piles. I'll put up a picture and I will see you at your reading. Okay, so pile one. First of all, you have a message coming through that there's a need to ground and also to just kind of be aware of like what's going on in your body, like how you're feeling in your body. And okay, so specifically, let me explain that a little bit more. Like how certain situations or environments or people, how it impacts your body. Spirit is coming through with a message that's like depleting, that's draining you. It's wearing you down. So if you get around people, or you know you're going to be around certain people, you have plans to go a certain place or whatever, and you start to feel like this tension or this nervousness or this anxiety in your body, in your chest, you start to feel like a nervousness or a pounding, or maybe you get like a headache, or you just feel so tired all of a sudden. Pay attention to that, because that is your body alerting you to something. And there's a message coming through that you might be like trying to numb that somehow or ignore it completely. And so Spirit's saying like pay attention to that, because it's not anything to like be alarmed. This is your own personal like internal system. It's like your own internal like system to just like a GPS, I don't know, like a GPS. That's what's coming through for your, okay, I heard mental wellness, like where you are, your mental wellness, your physical health, just kind of like where you are, to give yourself just kind of a check. So, like, so in that, you'll be able to navigate a little bit better. Like, okay, I need to step away from this social scene, or from this scene, or from these people for a little bit, whatever the situation is, kind of like, so when you're giving too much or not giving it, like when you're giving more than you have and you're not getting, it's not reciprocated, or you're not giving to yourself in return. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm getting like such, this is your intuition. If you're not aware, like I know that probably, like a lot of people say your intuition happens in your gut, and I don't disagree with that. Like I absolutely, yes, 100%. I recognize that when I have like better gut health, when I'm paying attention to the foods that I'm eating and things like that, I definitely am aware of how that impacts my intuition and my psychic gifts. But I'm not a person, I don't always feel it in my gut. I feel it in my energy, and that's throughout my body. And maybe that's just the way that I built the relationship with like my guides and my angels and stuff, but I don't always feel my intuition in my gut. I'll feel it in my chest. Sometimes I'll feel it in my head. Sometimes I'll feel it in my hands. Sometimes I'll feel it like in my hips or in my feet. And like, depending on where I feel it in my body, it lets me know like what area of my life or what chakra is being impacted. You know what I mean? Like so for an example, like, I don't know. I think that's pretty like self-explanatory. I feel like that makes sense. So there's that. I feel like there's an important message with that. That's kind of a side message, but I feel like it's also integrated in this. And so with this one, I'm feeling like this one might be a little more complex. So I'm going to ask you to please bear with me. Please have a little bit of patience. Because this is like this is not as specific as one might have thought it was going to be. Like, I had a feeling that this might kind of unravel this way. I felt it before I started the reading. I felt like this was going to be pretty heavy and pretty complex. But my intention going in was to say, like, oh, your wounded healer energy is, I don't know, like something simple. Not that the wound is simple, but just like, this is it. Like, I thought it was going to be more to the point, but of course not, Aaliyah. All right, sorry. So I know I'm kind of going off. I'm trying to feel, honestly, I don't know if I feel intimidated by this energy, because I feel like I'm kind of I don't know if procrastinating is the right word, but I feel like I'm like trying to go all, like, it's like to dive into this. Oh gosh, first of all, I can feel the energy of like sadness kind of welling up in my chest and in my eyes. And so that's a little bit intimidating. So what I'm seeing is like this big ball, and it's like I have to go into it. And the ball it looks tiny, but it's like I know that once I go in it, like I'm the tiny thing. I'm the speck that's in it. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like this is such big wounded healer energy, and I feel like that's to say that like you have maybe multiple, and they're all kind of integrated. Essentially, so when I was pulling out your card, I heard elixir. So essentially what I'm feeling is that you don't have like one specific wounded healer energy where it's like, I don't know why I can't think of an example right now, but it's like, let's say there are 10 different wounded healer energies. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why I'm getting physical body. So let me just explain it as it's coming through. So let's say like somebody might have the wounded healer energy of the left hand, or somebody might have the wounded healer energy of the right hand, or the left foot, or the right foot, or, you know, the hips, or the back, or the whatever. Like someone's wounded healer energy might be specific to a specific part of the body. Like for you, I'm getting it's kind of like the entire body. Do you get what I'm saying? So like for you, it's not necessarily one reoccurring thing. Okay, let me just say it. Like I keep getting abandonment and rejection that's coming through, but it's not as simple as just abandonment and rejection. It's like the entire experience of life and what comes with abandonment and rejection. It's the jealousy, it's the dependency, it's the joyful easygoingness that you feel when you separate, or when you find your person and you feel you're connected, or when you feel like you've become codependent and then you've broken off and then you become independent. I'm drawn to this song now. You have, I've been everywhere, man, looking for someone who can please me, love me all night long. You can have me all you want, any day, any way, any day. Just show me where you are tonight. Where have you been, Rihanna? And I'm actually not, I know that this is like a pretty sensual, romantic type of song, but I'm not getting it like that. I'm getting this more like your soul, like finding your people, your soul tribe. You know what I'm saying? The people that you can connect, that you can integrate with. That it's like, okay, so now I'm being drawn to this picture here. You have the Nyx and it says darkness here, and I'm being drawn to like this, the integration of the red and the blue, and it's kind of giving me like fire and water. This is alchemy. This is alchemy energy. You're an alchemist. That is your wounded healer energy. That's why it feels so like non-specific or non-tied down. Okay, let me explain what I'm saying. An alchemist is a person that has the ability to mix two, essentially like elements that are not mixable, but through their own power and create, it's like being able to meld that together. And so maybe, I don't know if that's you can look up alchemy. There's actually a book that I read once called The Alchemist. And so that might be something you want to read. So yeah, okay. And then, so that's what this energy is. Through this experience, I'm hearing a longing. It's like through this longing of finding your people. It's like there's this, okay, so now I'm feeling in my chest again, this like, I don't even know how to describe this because I don't know. I feel like the best word to describe what I'm feeling in my chest is like a void. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing like a shape of a heart and there's a chunk missing out of it. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's what I feel in my chest. And you're like going through trying to find your people. Now I'm drawn to this card here really quickly. You're going through life and you're trying to find your people. And in that, it's like there's a lot of I'm getting roller coaster energy, a lot of ups and downs. Like you think you find your people and then it doesn't work out. And then you think you find your people and then it doesn't work out. And then you think you find your people. And this has been your journey all through life. And eventually I'm hearing rejection again. So eventually it starts to feel like rejection. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's wrong with me? Why can't I find my people? Like, I'm the common denominator in this situation. I'm obviously going from these groups or these different types of people or these different situations. And it's not meshing, it's not mending, melding, you know what I mean? Like I don't have my lifelong friends, I don't have my people from, childhood or whatever the situation is. And so that's the wound of it, is this abandonment and this rejection. But it's more than just like, I can't find friends. You are a person that probably, okay, so I was wondering, it's all coming in now. And so I'm trying to keep up with what's coming in. So you probably are a person that has felt like a black sheep of the family. And then also in your social groups, like in your friend groups, you may feel like you can only show various facets of yourself in different groups. Do you know what I'm saying? Not because you're trying to hide who you are, but because you have so many sides that like, I'm seeing like, okay, I'm seeing a Rubik's Cube. You know when you first buy a Rubik's Cube, all of the sides have all of the same colors in the beginning until you mesh it up, okay? Right? So it's like you're the Rubik's Cube. And then you have one side that's red, right? And then so when you're hanging out with your group of friends that are red, you show that red side to them. Not because you're trying to pull a wool over their eyes or whatever, but because they won't relate to the blue, the white, the green, the yellow, the other colors on there. And for you, it's like you've tried to explain those other sides, but they don't get it. They don't understand. And you've gotten to the point, this is a part of your wounded healer energy. You've gotten to the point where you can recognize that it's like, oh my gosh, this quote comes up often, probably because it's one of my favorites, but you've gotten to the point where you can recognize that a person can only meet you as deeply as they have met themselves. So if all they know is red because all they hang out with is red and all they see is red, they're not going to be able to interact with you in a way with like your white, your blue, your green, whatever colors are on there, in a way that you feel like you're not basically defending yourself or justifying yourself, or that you're not like a fucking pet project and people just want to like figure you out like it's just some new cool novelty. Do you know what I'm saying? And so that's like a protection mechanism. This is a part of your wounded healer energy. So you know how to kind of like flip this Rubik's Cube for the various like friend groups or the people that you meet. And it's kind of like, it feels almost like an oxymoron, because in your journey, because you have been, this is like such, okay, it's coming. So because you have been so, like, it's like you've only been able to show one side. So you've had to move from like this friend group, this area. You might have moved around physically a lot as well, right? So sticking with this Rubik's Cube analogy, at one point you had this friend group that was red, and then for whatever reason, separation, blah, 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 whatever. And then you meet this other group of people and then they're white. And so like now you're showing your white side, so you get to engage with that aspect of your personality. And maybe you still hang out with the reds every now and then or whatever. And then along your journey, you also meet greens. And so now you're able to like, express that facet of your being. And so people might look at this and say that they might, if a person is not, I don't want to, like, if a person doesn't have experience with energy, if a person is basically, if they don't have experience with energy to be able to see, how can I, it's like you have, how can I describe this? If a person doesn't have experience with energy to be able to recognize this, they may label this as fake, or that you're like hiding something. This may feel suspicious to them, because it's like, well, when you're with me, you show me this side, but when you're with that person, you show them that side. And it's like, yes, because that's the side of me that you can relate to. When I show you this other side, you become critical or judgmental or repulsed, or you feel like it's not a mesh. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm speaking for you as if you're talking to someone else, because it's like these people that you know, sorry, this song is coming through again. Not song, sorry, this card is coming through again. I picked it up. So let me just see what it says. All right, so you have Scorpio and Sagittarius. You may or may not be any of these signs. If you are or are not, that's okay. It's not about the signs. It's more so about the energy. So who they are, the lie detector and the philosopher, heavy philosopher energy coming through. Where you'll find them, researching ancient Egypt's hieroglyphics. What you'll remember, they love to make each other feel alive. It's like that energy. Like you have this philosophical, this is I just heard world renowned. You might be like worldly traveled, and if not physically, then maybe through like your research, through like your studying, through the books that you read, or through even your interactions with other people. You might meet various people from different different parts of the world, different cultures, different belief systems, different value systems, different social statuses, different whatever. And there are the people that stick to their group. I just heard conglomerate. So there are the people that like stick to their group, and then there are the people that explore, right? So the people that stick to the group, it's like they feel safe interacting with whatever color that they are, because that's what they know, that's what they accept, it's reliable. It's that's Taurus energy. It's like it's predictable. Like they know what to expect, blah blah blah. These people are typically probably more uncomfortable with the unknown, or with change, or with whatever doesn't align with their own belief system. You are more of an explorer. You are more like wise and philosophical in that way, where you tend to like you explore that, you embrace that, like you kind of, it's like, how can I describe this? It's like you look at each of these differences. So like if this group over here is green, they only interact with green. That's what they're comfortable with. And if you over here are blue, it's like you already know blue. You know what I mean? Like you've interacted with blue, and that's not to say blue is less than, but like you also are green, and you also are, it's like you need to be able to express all of these facets of your personality. And so there may have been a time, and if you're not there yet, this is how your wounded healer energy can empower you. So there may have been a time where you felt like you couldn't relate. I heard woe is me. Like, woe is me. I can't relate. I'm the black sheep. I don't fit in. I'm so misunderstood, blah, blah, blah. And almost you might have looked down on people that were different than you, because I don't know, maybe you have some sort of skill or something that you, like maybe skill in communication or intellect also is what I'm getting. Maybe you have a skill in like creating new opportunities, I heard gift of gab, like using your words. You have some sort of a skill set I heard elite, that makes you feel elite. And that's not to say you're not, but I cannot remember where I was going with that. I was saying something about jealous is coming through. Like, oh, okay. So I think that whenever somebody doesn't, you might have been okay, Aaliyah, let me calm down. Let me back up. So it's like you might have been in that place. But what you have been able to, so you might have dealt with a lot of jealous energies, or that might have been the label that you might have said, like, oh, people are jealous of you, blah, blah, blah. And that's not to say that that's not true. You may still also now, if you haven't gotten to this point of embracing and integrating this wounded healer energy, you will get to the point where now you can recognize jealous energy for what it is and not personalize that. And so what I'm trying to explain is, at one point you might have looked at your situation like, oh, woe is me, pitiful me. I can't be my full self, or I can't, whatever the situation is that you feel like you keep getting rejected or abandoned. And you've moved from that into understanding, accepting, and feeling joyful and easygoing in the fact that when something doesn't work out with this group anymore and there's a separation, then that just simply means that you have had your fill in expressing this green side of your Rubik's Cube. And maybe you've neglected this red side a little bit. So you now, the next group that you go to, not that you are actively seeking it, but it's like you understand the flow of life and of energy and of attraction, vibrational alignment, that type of thing. Like, I'm just seeing like energy moving, and it's like as energy moves and changes, whatever is magnetized to you, it's like you understand the concept of magnetism, of law of attraction, of magic. You understand vibrational frequency, and like when things separate, you understand that you're out of alignment with that, and that's cool because now you're able to look at it like, okay, well, I've expressed that facet of my personality, and that doesn't mean it's done forever and I'm never going to go back to it. It's just that, you know what, I've neglected this green side over here, or did I say that? You know what I mean? Like whatever, what color's on a Rubik's Cube? I don't know. Orange, have I said that? Like I've neglected this orange side over here. So let me like give energy to that or whatever. Or like maybe you start to see that in your environment. And by in your environment, I mean like, okay, so this is what's coming through. The orange one, I'm seeing plants. So maybe you were never really a person that was into plants. I heard herbalism. This could be like gardening, planting, or even like maybe experimenting with plant, what do they call, like hallucinogens, like ayahuasca. I don't really know what this is. Kratom, and I don't honestly really know what this plant is, but what I'm getting from this is like, so maybe now you're in an area where you want to get more in touch with like nature, you know what I'm saying? So maybe that's exploring more, going outdoors more, going for hikes, walks, planting, gardening, learning more about plants. Maybe you're doing like working with herbs, herbal magic, drinking herbal teas, using herbs to dress candles. Maybe it could just be learning plants in general, planting your own food, whatever. But like this is the orange side of you that maybe you haven't been able to express. Do you get what I'm saying? Okay, I'm being drawn back to this card, and so it's like, I just heard being able to integrate up. Oh, okay. This is like giving me duality, but it's beyond duality though. You may have a dual nature about you though. I'm getting this like it's like a balance of like this fiery, I heard like go-getter, driven energy, and then this like watery, intuitive, it's like this is giving me hardcore yin yang energy. Or masculine, feminine, like however you want to say it, you know what I'm saying? So one second. Excuse me, that's significant. So I don't know if I've so with sneezing, I read somewhere that when you sneeze, that's a pretty good indication of your vibrations raising, your frequencies, like the energy that you put out raising. And that's this pile. You are the type of person. So how you can integrate this and how you can use this to like help yourself and help, this is your healer aspect of this energy, is that like you are able to, because you have gone through this very and it's not just one thing, it's a lot of various situations, which this is going to be one of those type of things that's like, it's because this is a general reading, it is literally different for everybody, but you've had so many experiences that ultimately have boiled down to you feeling abandoned or rejected in some way. And so you have overcome that by being able to detach like your emotion from your emotional body to like step outside of that, to be able to see things from a bigger picture through like intuition is what I'm getting from a higher, like from divine guidance, through your intuition, through your divine, like internal reflection, divine wisdom. So that where most people might react and say, oh my God, that person's so jealous. Like they just da-da-da-da-da. And then let's say, for example, they recognize someone is jealous. And so now they get into this dynamic of like power struggle or power, whatever it's called, where it's like, well, I'm going to do this thing because she's jealous and she's saying all these things, or he's jealous and he's saying all the things, or whatever the situation is. So now I'm going to do more stuff to make them jealous. You're not about that shit. Like, you're like, I'm just doing me. And if I'm doing whatever I'm doing and makes them jealous, I understand that that's that's their journey. Like, that's for them to recognize, but I'm certainly not going to engage, and I'm not going to justify that behavior with any type of response that's going to enable it or encourage it. Why? Because that's something that they have to work through on their own. And I'm like, it's not my responsibility. If they were to come to me, because you have this healer energy, you like, this is your energy. If they were to come to me, I would share, you know what I'm saying, depending on like their intentions and how they came to me. Like, absolutely, yeah, this isn't just for me to hold to myself. This was given to me by the universe through internal reflection, through this divine unlimited wisdom. And because I've been able to I heard transcend whatever I've transcend and access this PowerPoint in this universe, I can share it out to help people be able to access their own PowerPoint. And then eventually they won't even need me for this information, which is all good, because we're all here just to help each other out. And just because I'm good at this doesn't mean that I'm not good at other things. This is your energy I'm channeling. And so you have recognized that. So when you come in these situations where like maybe someone seems to be a little bit dependent or someone seems to be jealous, and with this joyful, easygoing, I'm also getting that maybe some people might come in and it's like, I just heard frivolous, like maybe they might kind of treat you frivolously, like they think that like your energy is like a vacation, they can just kind of come and go as they please. But even in that, you recognize, and you're like, no, homie, I'm not a fucking vacation spot. Like, yes, I'm compassionate, I'm understanding and all that stuff, but I'm also still a fucking human being. Do you know what I'm saying? I have my own hardships and struggles as well. And like, no, you can't just use me and deplete me for this resource. Yes, I'm good. Like, yes, I might be able to help you with this. Yes, I might have, this is my wounded healer energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I still have my own shit. So in this experience, it's like you've been able to recognize how you're able to express various facets of your personality. And you, like, with this dependent card, I'm getting like, it's like you depend on yourself. You don't feel like you need to have just one person to be able to express all of these sides. Like, it would be nice to have a person that you can express multiple sides, but I feel like you kind of understand that like you need to have various friend groups and various types, because everybody isn't going to get all aspects of your personhood, of your personality, of this multifacetedness, of your perspective, of your value system, of your belief systems. Do you know what I'm saying? And you're not here to change anyone's mind. You understand that like, okay, I'm going to interact with blue and then white over white or whatever. And then if blue decides to flip and decide that they want to interact with white, it's like whatever. You kind of like have this energy where you meet people where they are, but it's very balanced. This is like alchemy. This is alchemy. It's like you're able to meet people where they are, and also like boundary yourself so that you're not like compromising yourself, or you're not getting yourself into these positions where you feel abandoned or rejected. This is like such a paradox point in oxymoron. I hope this makes sense, you guys. Please let me know in the comments. I mean, you don't have to. It's helpful though for me, because I sometimes I feel like words are so limiting. Like, I can see it and I can feel the energy, and sometimes I'm not sure that I give enough words to really paint like what it is that I'm seeing. And I don't know that I've done a good job of expressing like how fucking magnificent this is, and how magnificently you have been able to navigate and master this. That's what I'm hearing. Master this. This is okay, so this is what I heard, and I think that this is what people might feel towards you, but I heard the art of deception. And so, I don't know, I feel like this can go two ways, because I feel like there's higher vibrational and lower vibrational. So there are those who might think that you are being intentionally deceptive in a malicious manner, like you're trying to pull the wool over, what's this phrase? Trying to pull the wool over the sheep's eyes? Is that how it goes? Whatever, you know what I'm trying to say. There's there's that group of people who might feel that. And then you also have the other group of people who will recognize that this art of deception is not, again, intentionally malicious. You're not even out to deceive people. You understand, and maybe this other group will understand how others may receive this as deceptive, but this is again, you meeting people where they are. You are giving people only what they can digest, because to give them more, they would choke on it. You know, then that's not a reference to like the other person's ability. It's like, this is more of a gosh, I feel like, I don't know if I'm doing a good job. I feel like the way that I'm describing this, it sounds like I'm describing you as though but maybe as though you or other people might think that you are better than whoever. And you don't have that demeanor at all, but I think that you're commonly received that way. I think that you have a lot of people that you're not even asking for it, but you have a lot of people who are in competition with you, and you look over and you're like, oh my God, okay, this again, I'm not even fucking racing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to the goddamn grocery store. I'm not even in my race car, and you see me and you feel like you want to challenge me to a goddamn drive off on this 2-lane road to go to the store. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, that's you. It's like, so I hope that makes sense. So it's not that you think that you're better than anyone. It's just like, you are so in your own lane that it's like, I don't know. I feel like that triggers people, because you are so cool in your own lane. It's like, you know that you're a Rubik's Cube, and you know that you have these sides, and you know that you can meet people where they are. Something about that, meeting people where they are, it's like, that's a trigger for people, because it's like, by you saying that, I can see that in your energy, that's a compassionate thing. Compassionate's not the right word. It's like, you're doing this because it's like, you're consider, that's the word. It's like, you're considering the other person. You know what I mean? In that. And also, but you're also considering yourself. This is such a very intricate, beautifully designed mechanism. So let me try to break that down. Let me explain that. So it's like, you're considering other people and you're considering yourself. I'm seeing like, this is giving me, okay, I don't know why I just heard like A Wrinkle in Time, but I'm seeing like gears. It's just so intricate and detailed, and like, it just goes. Oh, I wish you guys can see the vision that I'm seeing, because it's like a bunch of gears, but they're so tiny and they're so all connected. And it's like you can think like the tiniest little tweak. Like, it's like, well, it's not that big. It's not that tiny. It's, it's only so tiny, but it's like, then you see it like ripple out and how it impacts everything. Like, that's your energy. But okay, so let me try to explain what I'm saying about like, you being considerate, because it's not condescending what you're doing. It's like, you are being considerate of the fact that you recognize a person where they are in their journey. And because you're the type of person that does not want to, seeing someone like shove a spoon in someone's mouth, like, you're not that. You do not want to shove your own ideas, your own morals, your own food, your own parts of yourself into somebody else's mouth and force them to eat that or digest that. You know what I'm saying? So you're like, here's the platter, and you can help yourself to, no, it's not even a good analogy. You see where that person is, and then you offer them whatever they can digest, is the best way that I can say it. It's like, whatever they can digest. That allows you to build a genuine relationship with that person, because you are meeting them where they are, but also like, respect yourself, because you're not then overextending or exhausting yourself by trying to force your own will on someone else. You're not setting yourself up for disappointments. This is that joyful, easygoing energy where it's like, I understand, this is you. I understand that if I just meet someone where they are, instead of trying to force my own ideas on them, I'm going to be in a much more peaceful state, because it's not my job to do that. I can share freely what I have, my wisdom, whatever, resources, my practices, my rituals, whatever, to those that are interested, by putting it out on a public platform, and then they will get it as they need. Or those who come to me and ask, like, I'm happy to, but I'm not going to go like hunting people down or, setting traps up, or when I meet people trying to force my spoon into their mouth. It's just like, I know that. Why? Because you, pile one, you know that your way is not the only way. It's not the end all be all. And it's not everybody's idea of success or happiness or fulfillment. Do you get what I'm saying? So like, you recognize that. And so I just heard tread lightly. Yeah, it's like, you tread lightly with people, because you don't want to, I think there's just like very few people that would really understand and connect to the I am just like, this card draws me in so much. Like, even the intricacies of this card, all of the little stars, how, like, I mean, how vast and deep this universe is, or, you know what I mean? That's what it's looking like. It's like where she's sitting. This is what I was seeing in the beginning. It's like where she's sitting. This looks like she's so big and her surroundings, it's like kind of small or proportionate to where she is. But it's like if you pan out, you will see just how zoomed in this picture is to be able to see this person and how big that ball is. And I feel like that's you. That's representative of you. And everybody doesn't want to get swallowed up by this ball. It's intimidating. That was the energy I was feeling in the beginning. Like, it's intimidating. This vast, like, openness of perspective. This is just like this vast openness, and by openness is like, oh, that can be filled with anything. That's an opportunity for creation, for creativity. It's like never ending. It's like it's like, that's what I'm getting with you. It's like never ending, and not in a bad way. It's like it's like you think you get to like the good spot, and then it's like there's more, and then you go, and then it's like, and then there's more, and then there's more, and it's like some people might receive this in a way that's kind of intimidating, or it's like, when does it stop? Or when am I able to, like, how do I get out? When do I tap out? Like, it's how do I, it's almost like people don't even know how to approach or interact with this energy, because it's so, I heard meticulous. It's this system, this energy. It's so intricate. It's so meticulous. It's so, what am I seeing? I'm seeing like, okay, have you guys ever seen, what is this movie? It's about a little girl. This is a Disney movie, I think. And they made it like live action. She goes to, her mom passed. Okay, what is this movie? Anyways, the reason why I'm trying to describe it is because there's this scene in this movie where there's this like egg thing. And then you open it up and it's a little dancer. And underneath the dancer, there's like these gears that kind of like intertwine and turn and move, like synchronistic as the dancer is just twirling and the music is playing. And it's kind of like that. Like, I feel like that's like your system. Yeah, so that is your wounded healer energy. So how do you know if you are resisting that energy, and how do you know if you have integrated that? This has to do kind of with perspective. So if you feel like you are interacting with situations in a way that you're like, okay, well, this is a new opportunity, kind of like I was explaining with the Rubik's Cube, where like, okay, you see that this is fizzling. So now you know that like there's about to be a change where you're probably going to start to express a different facet of this Rubik's Cube, a different side, a different color. Or hell, maybe you might meet someone where you can twist all of these things up and it could be a whole jumble, and that's going to be a new experience. But that's how you know when you're integrated, when you have that type of perspective. When you are a little bit more resistant to this wounded healer energy, you would be the person that's like, oh my God, that person's so jealous, and, you know, do the things to continue to make them jealous, or just kind of be in this like confrontational, conflicting kind of energy. That's not to be confused with being assertive and boundaried. Being this Five of Swords, what I'm getting from this is like, if you find yourself feeling like personally attacked, do you know what I'm saying, by like a lot of people or everybody, then you're probably pretty resistant to your wounded healer energy. If you feel like you can be communicative and boundaried, and maybe you might be assertive, maybe you have to say things a little more stern, but you recognize like, okay, this is an opportunity to heal something so that we can move forward, then that's a pretty good sign that you have integrated, or you are integrating, because this is going to be a continual process. Life is going to continue to life. You're going to continue to have experiences that's going to only further deepen this healer energy of this wounded healer. Of this wound. The healer, Jesus. You get what I'm saying, right, pile one? You feel me, right? Yeah, so, What else? Oh, I was saying advice for like how you can, what you can do to lean into this. Well, I'm getting like kind of soft energy. Oh, okay, that makes sense. So like soft energy, if you find yourself in this, excuse me, I'm sorry. I don't know if that's too much information, but I just burped and like I haven't really eaten today actually. I just had a little bit of hummus before, and like that, it started to come up. I don't know why that felt very. I don't know why I felt like I needed to say that. I don't know. That seems significant to this message, where it's like be conscious about what's coming up out of your mouth. I keep hearing regurgitate, like the shit. Oh, like what you regurgitate. Okay, so if you feel like maybe you're in an energy where you're kind of just like repeating, you're just kind of regurgitating like maybe you have a situation, someone's like, oh my gosh, that person's so jealous or that person's so dependent. If you feel like you're in an energy where you're not making up your own mind and you're kind of relying on other people to tell you how you feel about a situation, then, or like how to look at a situation, how to navigate that situation, you are likely resistant to this wounded healer energy, and you're looking externally and not internally. You are your own guidance system. You are your own guidance system. So seek yourself, seek your higher self through your intuition, through your connection, through your practices or rituals or whatever you do, your prayers, however. Seek that internal guidance to answer your questions before, or if at all, you even start seeking external guidance. If there are situations where you may need to. This is not to don't, you know what I mean? Like use your own intuition to discern how to navigate this, but most certainly definitely always consult your internal guidance, and that should take priority. How you feel. Yes, because remember in the beginning I was saying like your body tells you exactly, okay, so that's what you can do. Wow, that came through kind of in reverse. That's all good. But yes, so that's what you can do, is like kind of pay attention to how your energy, how your body, how you feel, like what's happening within you in when you interact with certain people, or when you think about interacting with certain people, when you have plans to go hang out in certain environments or do certain things or whatever. And it could be as it could that's going to be on a spectrum. So it could just be like, all right, I'm feeling this way because I physically need to rest. I've been busy and moving and moving and moving, and like I need to rest, and my body's telling me that. Or it could be like something's off with this person's energy or whatever, and I don't necessarily want to like stick around to find out what it is, because I don't want to get, like hurt by that or negatively impacted by that. That has nothing to do with me. So like, let me just give them their space, and then if it comes back in alignment, it will. That type of situation. That's how you can know. And then like, so have this. Sorry, pile one. I forgot to clear my memory before I started recording. So it got cut off. But that was basically it. That was it. Pay attention to your energy, your physical body, whatever, what it's telling you. When like your discernment, use your discernment essentially. Also, something about drinking more water is coming through, and also peppermint oil. Look up the spiritual benefits of peppermint oil. That could also be beneficial for you as well. So that is all I have for you, pile one, and I hope that this message here resonated. I hope that it helped you really connect with and understand this wounded healer energy that you have, and I hope that it helps you to feel more empowered. So if it did, or if it didn't, I would really appreciate if you liked, commented, and subscribed. If you didn't, it's all good. I appreciate you sharing your energy here, pile one, and I hope to see you again in a future video. Bye. Okay, so pile two. This is, I'm gonna have to sort this out. I mean, as always, I'm gonna have to sort this out. Like, let me tell you what I've gotten so far because it seems disconnected. When this came out, when this card came out, you have the Hecate card, right? Illumination, Hecate. Okay, let me just say this. I don't think that you are quite integrated in this wounded healer yet. I think that you are in process, but you're not quite there. The reason why I feel the need to say that is because I think that this is a pile that I would say just kind of like check to see how you're doing, how you're feeling, how you're responding to this, what you hear coming through, like this channeled message as you hear it. And if you need to like tap out and take a break to reflect or cool down or whatever, by all means do that, because this might be a little bit triggering, what I'm about to tell you. So with that being said, please understand I'm channeling the message and I'm simply describing what I'm experiencing, what I'm getting, in order to be able to relay the message that you need to hear in the way that you need to hear it in order to affect the most change for your highest growth, right? Okay, so right away this card came out, Hecate, and I was like instantly drawn to that, and I just assumed that it was because I like the darkness, you guys. I like this, I don't know, there are elements with my experiences with my spirituality. It's like I have a whole new perspective of what darkness is. And so now the things that people that have not maybe experienced this type of interaction with darkness may find scary. I'm not saying like I'm never afraid or anything like that. I don't know. It's like I'm able to kind of like take a step back and see like where people might hear demons and think like, oh, these dark, evil, crazy, big, huge creatures with red eyes and blah, blah, blah. I can see it from a different perspective where I'm like, the demons aren't really as scary to me anymore because I understand it to be a shadow element, an insecurity, an overactive ego, whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? Okay, so immediately I was drawn to this because I'm like, oh yes, what is this card about? Like, what's this message going to be about? Right? And then Spread Love, It's the Brooklyn Way came out. And I was like, okay, I fuck with it. Like, that's like my favorite line of this song by Notorious B.I.G. This is juicy, by the way. And then after that, Aggressive came out. And I was just kind of like, because it kind of caught me off guard, and I don't know why it made me chuckle. And then Opinionated came out, and I started to laugh even more because it felt like such a disconnect. It was coming through. Now the energy started. So at first when I got the energy, there was an interest, there was an intrigue. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm hearing masking right now, and I'll explain that in a minute. And then as these cards came out, Aggressive, Opinionated, Critical, with Spread Love, It's the Brooklyn Way, there was such a disconnect. And I just started seeing like this kid that had on like this Halloween costume of whatever scary thing that they are, fill in the blank, and they like are really like, rah, rah, be afraid of me because I'm this thing. And it's like the mom is like, oh my gosh, I'm so afraid. But the mom really knows it's her kid. You know what I mean? So it's like for the sake of this person's confidence, I guess, like I'm going to play along, but I know you're a kid. Do you know what I'm saying? So I haven't connected quite like how this is your wounded energy yet. But so that's the whole masking thing I'm going to get to that. But that was the whole masking thing that I was talking about with like, it's like this, that's kind of your energy. It's like you are masking as this like, okay, I heard all powerful, like demon. Okay, that's weird because, okay, I got like demon and being at the same time. So it's like, I don't know if you like identify with or you, maybe I heard vilified, like maybe you've been vilified so much that you've taken that on as your identity and you're like, yeah, I'm this evil demon, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I'm so aggressive, I'm so opinionated, I'm so critical, but like deep down, You're like, spread love. It's the Brooklyn way. You know what I'm saying? You may or may not be from Brooklyn or somewhere in New York. I don't know. You may like rap or not. Whatever. That doesn't matter. That just came through as a side note. Okay. And then so also you have the moon here, which is a very, again, this, you may be a man or a woman. It doesn't matter. We're talking about energy. Energy is not gender specific. Every gender has both masculine and feminine energy. I just feel the need to say that because I think that some of you guys, that's a part of the okay, this is the wounded healer energy. So that's a part of the trigger is like this feminine energy that you innately have in you that you have. Yes. Okay. So you have Venus here. So your card, I'm sorry, you guys, I know I'm bouncing all over the place. It's coming through, but you have, so let me just finish my thought, what I was saying. You have this feminine, softer energy that is innately a part of you. You might be from like a tough town, like maybe Brooklyn or somewhere else in New York, or any other type of like city in a state or wherever you are. You might be from an area or a culture where like you can't show emotions. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that's a weakness to be nurturing and soft and vulnerable and express yourself and say how you feel and these very feminine elements, qualities, you know what I'm saying? Like, but the truth is like you do have that. Everybody has that. This is your wounded healer energy that you have had to repress that and mask it with this opinion, this critique, this aggression, this facade of being this villain, you know what I'm saying? And you're like, but it's like it's coming through like this powerful energy like yeah, I just heard like I'm the man. You may or may not be a man. It's just an expression. But it's like I'm the man. Don't F with me. You know what I mean? Like you have this facade, and it's like that. Not to diminish or minimize that. What I'm saying is that expression is overly compensating for this feminine energy that you have. You know what I mean? That's innate within you and with everybody. It's this Venusian. This like even so you may have your perspective of love. How you express love, show love, may be very masculine based. Like I show love not by talking about feelings or expressing that I care or being compassionate or nurturing, or I express love by doing. You know what I mean? Like I'm the problem solver. I get it done. We don't talk about feelings. We don't cry. We just see the problem and solve it and go and do and move. And if I need to, you know, I heard tempers flare. If I need to like raise my voice or I need to put my foot down or if I need to, you know, my way or the highway, like that's maybe how you relate to love or how you think that you might express love or how love is supposed to be expressed to you. That might be your experience with how love was, like how you interact with love, like how love was. Yeah, you get what I'm saying, right? Okay, you have the Taurus card here. The Taurus card, you guys, the planetary ruler is Venus. This is the planet of love and magnetism. Let me like hardcore zoom into that for you. Because I am a patronizing asshole. I'm sorry. Oh my God, don't click out. Don't click out. Or do if you need to. But yeah, so it's like, that's your wounded healer energy, is this interaction with love. And I'm getting like, it's like, so you like peacock. You peacock yourself and you also peacock like your relationships. Like, oh my God, me and my family were so close. This could be like siblings, you know what I mean? Like brothers, sisters, cousins, aunts, uncles, mom, dad. Or it could be like your, I heard ready-made family. So I don't know what that, but yeah, it's like that. Like maybe you're married and you have your own children and it's like, this like ready-made family. And by ready-made, I mean like it's you know, when people refer to like the phrase of like a ready-made family, it's like you don't have to do anything because it's already so perfect. You already have the house and the car and the kids and the picket fence and the animal and you have, you know, a boy and a girl and whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm hearing in one of Jess's readings, she was describing this kind of energy and she was saying like, you know, you have the house and the wife and the house you have the things and the 2.5 kids, which is such a weird statistic, but whatever. So, yeah, it's like that. Like you peacock that, like, oh, what do you mean? I know how to love. Like, I just heard I'm this bad bee. So maybe as a feminine, maybe as like a female, if you're like the wife or whatever, however you identify, it's like, you might express yourself in that way also, where you're like, I have all the things. What do you mean? Like, I got it made. You know what I mean? You kind of peek, like, my life is so great. My life is so perfect. I have this husband that's, or this man or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm this person that's so blah, blah, blah. It's like that. Like, it's like this peacock energy. So with these two cards, this Black Panther and the White Buffalo, mostly what I'm being drawn to here is like, oops, the polarity in these cards. You have the Black Panther and the White Buffalo. This is giving me yin and yang energy, masculine and feminine energy. In this black, which is the yin, the feminine, the third eye is highlighted with this moon, which also connects to feminine energy, which also connects to intuition and nurturance and darkness and all of those things. And here you have, well, I believe, I don't know if that's the moon or sun or whatever, but you have white. And then you have like the horns and his feet. This buffalo's feet are like so planted in the ground. It's so stable and like in the earth. Like you have just the polarity and the colors, like the hot and the cold. I don't know. I'm just noticing the polarity. So it's like there needs to be a balance. So if you are, what I'm getting is like your wounded healer energy may be like your experience with the rejection of feminine energy, not only in yourself, but just feminine energy in general. So like you may be a person that kind of like thinks less of females or feminine energy, like they're incapable or they have to rely on men. You may have a little bit, I just heard like an outdated mode of thinking. So that's where you are. And I'm just hardcore getting that you're like in transition, or you're like, or I just heard crux. Like maybe you're right at the crux of it. Maybe you're right at the crux of like integrating this. Like you still have some awarenesses that you have to like, I'm seeing like holes that kind of like need to be plugged in order to be able to like retain this. You got an extra card, which is this angelite, and I think that this is so, I don't know, I'll pull that up actually, but this is a crystal, and I think that this could probably help you with being able to integrate this and really empower yourself with this wounded healer energy. So how you know when you are leaning more towards integrating this energy is when you become softer, when you're able to go more with the flow, when you're able to talk less and listen more, when you're able to be receptive, when you're able to reflect and not be ready to, like, I just heard act on the dime. Like, so the quote that's coming through is, listen to understand instead of listen to respond. When you move from a place of listening so that you can respond because you feel like you need to give, or you have the advice, you have the answers, you have the knowledge, you have the power, instead of being that person, when you move out of that space where you're like, well, I know what to do, or listen, understand what the person is saying, because you may find that what you know what to do fits for you, but maybe not for this person, or maybe not for this situation, because you're not listening to what the person, to what's being said. And this may be, I'm also heavily getting like energetically, because sometimes words don't word. You know what I'm saying? Like words don't work. Words are not always, I mean, shit, listen to how much I stumble over my words sometimes. It's like I can see and feel so clearly what's going on through my intuitive psychic gifts, but to articulate that sometimes, like words don't do it justice. And there's that energy. Something about food is coming through, and it's like, it's like lights, it's lighting up my senses. It almost makes me want to like my eyes, I feel like euphoric, honestly. Like I feel fucking euphoric. Like I can't even, something about food. I have no idea what that was about. I feel like that's a side message. Like get into, I don't know. That was for somebody. Something about food. Okay, hold on. Let me try to narrow this down, because I can't just let that rock. It's, which, Damn, that was a self-awareness moment I just had. All right, well then I'm gonna work on that. I'm gonna let that rock. So let's go with let me read what this says. Okay, this says, I am attuned to my third eye and psychic abilities, which is a very feminine quality. Angelite, because masculine is logic. What makes sense? What's the strategy? What's the plan? What's the action? You know what I'm saying? Intuitive is the third eye. It's the psychic ability. It's going with the flow. It's the unknown. It's that. Well, it's let me read what it is. Angelite is a pale blue stone that connects with the higher chakras to enhance your psychic abilities. It is also used to aid in communication and dream interpretation. Didn't I say words are not words sometimes? Like, this can probably really help you with articulating that, what you receive through your intuition. Okay, this stone is calling for you to connect with your third eye. Your guides have been trying to reach you and connecting with your pineal gland, which is connected to our psychic abilities. And connecting with your pineal gland will help to get the messages to you. If you aren't quite sure where or how to hear these messages, think of any easy to understand messages that have been sent to you in the past. Bird feathers, repeating numbers, and butterflies crossing your path are all examples of ways that your guides may have reached out to you previously. Keep your eyes open, all of them, and create space for your guides to communicate with you. You will want to hear what they have to say. If you're into journaling, a journal prompt for this says, how do I typically receive signs from my guides? So that's something to ask and be on the lookout for. I understand that, like, if you are a person that's trying to figure out how to do this on your own, I don't know. I would just, like, I did it, so I don't want to condemn it, but, like, I did it-ish. I researched and referenced people that were very well established in their own intuitive, like their psychic gifts and their own experience with magic. I like, or intuition, psychic abilities and things like that. Like, I did the research. I asked the questions. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't like willy-nilly go trying to connect psychically, because that can be really dangerous, you guys, seriously. So, if you've already been on the path of trying to do it yourself and maybe it's not working, or it's been scary, or whatever the situation is, if you're a person that looks at demons as like this scary, dark, big figure with, you know, red eyes in the corner of your room or whatever, like, maybe you shouldn't be doing this on your own, because there's still like some connection with your guides is what I'm getting that needs to happen, so that you can have that protection and that guidance and that wisdom, and that you're not just connecting with any type of spirits out in the psychic realm that could be misleading you and playing on your fears, because that's what a demon does. It plays on your fears by making fear is false evidence appearing real. I'm going to put that on the screen for you guys. Fear is false evidence appearing real. And that's what demons do. Your own inner demons, the demons of anybody else who's throwing negative energy at you, they take your fears, whatever it is that you're afraid of, and they give you things that make you think it's real so that you stay powerless to it. That's not what we're doing here. You know what I'm saying? And the way that you can overcome those fears is by balancing out and tapping into this wounded healer energy, where you integrate this feminine energy into you, into yourself. Balance it out. Integrate it, balance it out, because it's always there. But you are like overly masculine. The thing is, like, I read energy, so I can see that that's like, that's not to say you're not a masculine person. If you identify as a man and this is kind of triggering, like maybe you might feel like this is emasculating. It's not that. Please don't take it that way. And I would like to seriously invite you to consider why you feel that. Probably because of this wound of your experiences that have reiterated to you that if you are not this type of a masculine energy, then you're not a man. Do you know what I'm saying? And you got this. Deconstruction and reconstruction are one and the same. You need to deconstruct that belief system and replace it with truth, which is that any male or any female has both masculine and feminine energy. So if you can remove masculine and feminine from gender-specific roles and relate to it as energy, and break that down break the energy down into aspects, meaning action oriented or more receptive. Not to say that the feminine is an action, or like it's like taking action or attracting. Do you know what I'm saying? Giving or receiving, doing or being. Sun energy, which is vibrant, expressive, or moon energy, which is calm, peaceful, gentle. Do you know what I'm saying? Like problem solver or nurturer. Logic, intuition. Like relate to feminine and masculine in that. And you can have both of them. Can you imagine? If you're like, oh, that's the other thing I wanted to mention. If you're a person that's like hardcore, like power, the way that you relate to power, like that means something to you, like you are a person that's, I heard, power hungry. Two things about that. One, that's how you can connect to your true power, honestly, by integrating both of those. And because otherwise you're cutting yourself off from your true power by saying, no, I'm not going to express these feminine aspects, or no, I'm not going to express these masculine aspects, or I'm going to overcompensate one for the other. That's one message. The other thing is, that's how you can also know if you are being resistant. If you are a person that still feels like, well, I'm like that you're giving from a place of superiority, like I have the knowledge, I have the answers, I have the this, I can give, I had these experiences. Well, yeah, you had that experience, but let me tell you why it's not working. You have to do this or whatever. Like if you kind of, there's honestly like, there's a quote by Lauryn Hill that says, the man who knows something knows that he knows nothing at all. That's what the fuck you need to step into, pile 2. Instead of this, I know everything. Go from I know everything to the man who knows something knows that he knows nothing at all. Like sit with that for a minute for real. That's from her song. The man who knows something knows that he knows nothing at all. Most intellects are not believing God, but they fear us just the same. On and on. On and On by Erykah Badu. Did I say Lauryn Hill? I'm sorry. I'm channeling and I have no idea what came out of my mouth. But it's Erykah Badu. On and on. So yeah, maybe listen to that. But that's how you know if you're being resistant. Is if you're in that like I know everything. But how can you what was I saying? How can you how can you what energy can you lean into to integrate this? This is okay, hear me out, pile 2. This might be a little confusing, but this is like the paradox of life, man. When you understand that, this is that type of like I'm everything and nothing energy. This is the man who knows something knows he knows nothing at all energy. This is the I am the yes and the no. Like I am the creation and the void. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Oh my gosh. Okay, so you will if you don't yet, you will. So remember how I was saying like you kind of have this peacock energy where you're like, oh my gosh, yeah, let me show this, blah blah blah. I have this perfect life. Your advice is to lean into this peacock energy, but hear me out. Not what I was saying about, yes, oh my God, I have this perfect life. It's this peacock energy of like, so I don't know if you guys know this, but the peacock that has the colorful plumage is actually a male. Did you know that? Ugh, I said that so patronizing and I didn't mean to, I'm sorry. But it's actually a male. It's the male. The white peacock, the peacock that's mute is actually female. Why am I saying that? First of all, like, can we acknowledge the symbolism of that? It's the male that has all of this plumage that is attractive. Most people are attracted to the plumage, the colorful plumage of the peacocks. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because this male peacock is embracing and integrating its feminine energy. This is symbolism. So your advice is that recognize that you are male. If you are male, I'm just let's go with the analogy, but if you're a male and you feel, I just heard threatened by femininity, recognize that you're a male and that you do have feminine energy in you. So like to be threatened by feminine energy is to be threatened by your own power. For someone who wants to tap deeper into their own power, can you understand the oxymoron of that? So peacock yourself in the way that it's like, recognize that you have the colorful plumage and you don't have to showboat or pretend perfection. You just are. You just are the peacock. You don't, this is your feminine energy, just being. You just are. You don't have to do anything more or less than what you innately feel, what you feel in your energy. Do you know what I'm saying? If doing something because that's the manly thing to do feels like it goes against your energy, then don't do it. If you stop yourself from wanting to do something because it's too feminine, but that shit makes you feel good, like maybe you want to write and express yourself through songwriting or poetry, or maybe you want to journal, but that's a girly thing that's a feminine thing to do. Like, first of all, it's not. Secondly, it's your journey. I just get the sense from this pile that there's such a heavy concern of like what people will think. People can't have an opinion about something. Well, they can't, but it's like people can't have an opinion about something that they don't know. You do still have the right to your privacy. Not only that, but, oh, that's why. Okay, so I don't know if I said this, but in the beginning I was getting the quote, wolves don't lose sleep over the opinion of sheep. That. Like, and that's not to minimize anybody. This is to recognize that everybody is at their own place in their journey, which connects me back to pile 1, which was like meeting someone where they are. If a person cannot understand what you have learned to integrate is your wounded healer energy, it's not their wounded healer energy, or maybe they haven't gotten to where you are. Whatever the situation is, it's not your responsibility to usher them in. Spirit does that. The same way you got ushered into this. If you think back to how the hell did you get to where you are, where you're questioning yourself and all of your belief systems, who do you think that? I guarantee you it was not a person. It was not one particular situation. It was a series of events that was orchestrated by divine intervention, divine timing, the divine plan. You feel me? Yes, I can guarantee. I feel some of you questioning me like, you can guarantee it. I can guarantee it. I can guarantee it. I can guess that's stubborn energy. You are definitely still in transition, which, no judgment. No judgment here, pile 2. So yeah, that's your wounded healer energy. That's what I have for you. So I hope that provided some enlightening. I hope that you were able to make it through, and I hope that I wasn't like too harsh or, not triggering or anything like that. Please understand, I'm not judging you. I'm not here to judge you. I understand everybody has their own journey, and I love that. Like, I love that. Why? Because this, okay, you strike me as like, I'm sorry, pile 2, I'm kind of about to go off a little bit, but it's like you have energy that's like it's prominent. That's what I heard. It is prominent energy, and it's such like teacher energy, like leader energy. Like, you have the energy that you want to like get 6 of Cups, like you want to give to people and I'm getting like of your knowledge. I heard of your wealth, like you want to give to people. Imagine what you can give to people when you tap in and integrate this. I don't even think that you can even fathom this yet until you integrate it and you experience what that does for you. Like how that whatever you, excuse my language, like whatever you've been feeling, any type of anxiety, I heard animosity, any type of tension that you have been experiencing pre-integration, keep that in mind. Remember that. Maybe even journal it down, so that you can reference it once you are on the other side of this transition and you feel the difference in your body, in your energy, in your attitude. I heard in your appearance. It's going to be like a light bulb moment, like mind blown. And I'm telling you, you're going to want to like shout the shit off the rooftops and tell everybody. Imagine how you can, don't force it on people, pile 2. Just share it freely, and whoever wants to take it will take it. Or if anyone needs to come to you and ask you, they'll come to you and ask you. But that's the feminine aspect of integrating this. The masculine is like, here, I'm going to give you this and you got to take it. You know what I mean? We're not doing that. So yeah, so that's what I have, pile 2. I hope that this resonated for you. I hope that it provided some clarity and helps you along in your transition to get you to that integration point, because that's going to be magical for you, and I super love that. So if you did like this message, please, this video, this reading, this message, this channel message, if it was helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. I super appreciate you. And thank you so much for sharing your energy, pile, too. I hope to see you in a future reading. Bye. All right, so pile number 3. I have a sudden urge to put chapstick on, honestly, and to check some water, which kind of goes along with what I was going to say, which was I was already getting information, obviously, about your pile and the song. Let's say, 1 second, please. I need to drink some water. Whew, sorry. I feel very kind of like exhausted. Like I feel exhausted in my body. My back is starting to hurt, my upper back in the middle. And I feel just a little bit like lethargic. My lips suddenly feel really dry and I feel really thirsty. My hands feel kind of like dried out. I need to like sit down. This feels like, okay, I don't have any experience with this, but what I'm getting, this feels kind of like detox. Well, so let me not lie. I do have experience with detox. When by that I mean like when I do my juice cleanses where I'm literally only drinking juices, the body is detoxing and it's very exhausting and I have to put a lot of effort into like saying hydrated, whatever. But that's not what I'm getting from this pile. I'm getting detox like addiction detox. Addiction was coming through before I even got to this part of saying this, but that's what I'm getting is like detox energy from an addiction of maybe substances, maybe even like alcohol. So the song that you have here is, excuse me. Also, sorry, another thing is that was coming through is that after you listen to this pile, you may want to go back and listen to pile 2. That there was a message coming through about connecting. Another thing that was coming through with this is something about duality. So you may have a dual nature. And something about not being able to integrate that dual nature may have led to like an addiction of sorts, which may have been alcohol. It could be some sort of substances. It could be some sort of like release. So that could, take that however, the way to be able to release like whatever pent up energy that you may have been like suppressing. Like I'm getting like aggression. Yeah, you have anger at the mind. Okay, so the song that you have here is... let me stand back up. I think I'm okay now. The song that you have is because I'm only one drink away from the devil. I'm only one call away from home. Yeah, I'm somewhere in the middle. I guess I'm just a little right and wrong. Right and wrong, again, with that duality. Like, I feel like there's a dual element about your nature. Like, that seems conflicting and you haven't been able to integrate that, and you might be a type of person that like compartmentalizes stuff, but you label it like right and wrong. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like good, bad, right, wrong, do this, don't do that, heaven, hell. Like it's like you come through as kind of like, I'm just like, you are the only deck that got 2 of these cards. 2 of these cards came flying out. I already picked 2 for each of these, but then you got another 2 more. So you got 4. You have a total of 4 of those. You know what I'm saying? And it's like that. And then even in like this song card, you have the right and wrong. You have like 2 of the yellow, the confident and the power hungry, the 2 of the solar plexus, but then you also have like power hungry and anger at the divine, which are 2 of this like similar energies of aggression. So sorry. So don't, please hang in there, pile. I know this is kind of coming through like, well, goddamn, what's my power? Like, what's my energy? And that's kind of like, so, okay, there's a side message that's coming through. It's like, acknowledge that, because I feel like in your energy, like you might be ready to like, okay, well, what is my power? Like, how do I tap into this power? Like, I feel like you came to this pile looking to connect. Yes, it's that power hungry energy. Like, how can I step more into a power? And there's a message that's like, okay, let's take a step back and calm down and relax for a minute, because that's something that you need to purge. It's crazy because this power hungry energy that I'm tapping in is like what you need to purge in order to be able to tap into your power. There's been such a message of like paradoxical comparisons coming through in all these piles. So that seems to be a theme, but that makes sense because that's what wounded healer energy is. So it's like this, the wounded healer, the wound here is power. And it's manifested in this power hungry energy, and the coping mechanism is some sort of an addiction. So there's this message of like getting past this addiction in order to address this wound of power and the power hungry, in order to integrate and then become in order to become a healer, like to integrate and to heal. Okay, so I'm being drawn to these cards. So like I said, there's a dual nature, and I feel like all of this is rooted in this duality of how you relate to yourself. This is like a conflict of self. This is like you're at war with yourself. Okay, so you have Virgo and Sagittarius. You may or may not be any one of those signs. Who they are, the catalysts of change, where you'll find them, creating a recipe for homemade cocktails, again with the alcohol. I'm not judging, I'm just saying I'm getting like addiction energy here. What you'll remember, they may frequently bicker, but they're absolutely hilarious. Okay, and then you also have, I wanted to say this too, like, so this addiction that I'm referencing with alcohol or whatever, you may not see, I feel like there might be an element of you that may not see it as addiction. Like you may say like, I can stop when I want to, or like, I'm just doing that because I'm unwinding from it. Like you kind of might like justify or excuse it away. Instead of like taking account of how much you do partake in alcohol, whether you're out in a social group, whether you come home at the end of the day and you have it or whatever. And I'm not judging you. Like I understand life. I have my own experiences. Do you know what I'm saying? This is what Spirit is saying, where it's like, acknowledge, like you might want to take a look at that, because it's like your energy is coming through as kind of like dismissing it. Like it's not a big deal. Like you're like, I'm not an alcoholic. I just keep getting this, like, I can stop whenever I want to kind of thing. And it's like most alcoholics, that's typically their first response. It's like, I can stop when I want to, or to compare their alcohol usage to somebody else. Like, if you think I'm bad, blah, 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 or at least I don't, da, 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 da. You know what I mean? Like, compare it to something worse. Like, so if you find yourself doing that, and it doesn't have to be with alcohol, it could be with whatever the addiction is. It could be with, like, your addiction to power. This power-hungry energy. But I'm not getting that, honestly. I'm getting, like, alcohol or, like, some sort of a substance of something. Some sort of a release. This could be, like, sex or, I don't know, fighting. Like, maybe you, like, fight to release anger. Like, physically fight. It could be, like, substance, gambling, anything. Just take it as it applies. Okay, so your other card is the Masters of Manifestation, meditating together to preserve the peace. They're insatiably curious about each other, and that's what I'm getting. You are conflicted about who the hell you are, and I'm not judging you. Please don't take that personally. Please do not take that to church. I'm saying, like, I see that. I can understand why, because these are such conflicting energies. You know what I'm saying? And when you are coming from a mindset like you are, where they have to exist separate, there's black and there's white, of course this is going to be a conflict, because you don't allow for gray area. Again, I'm not judging you. I'm just trying to articulate what's going on here to help you get to the bottom of it. You have creating a recipe for homemade cocktails. Nothing wrong with that. And then you also have meditating together to preserve peace. Nothing wrong with that. In your mind, though, you're like, these two can't go together. Like, I can't meditate and drink. To which I'm saying, like, absolutely, sure you can. In moderation. Why can't both of those exist? Do you know what I'm saying? And that's your conflict. But this is ultimately your wounded healer energy. And so, all right, to connect that back to this power hungry, it's like you have invalidated yourself by not allowing these two sides of yourself to coexist. And so because you have invalidated yourself and allowed others to invalidate you, either by like hiding this element of yourself, but you've allowed others to invalidate you in whatever way. By this element, I mean like these parts of you that you're not integrating, that you feel can't coexist. You've invalidated yourself, and because you've invalidated yourself, now you're searching to compensate that with power. Because for you, power is the ultimate validation. So you've become hungry for it in a way that's aggressive, in a way that's like this wolf right here. You know, the fierce redness in the eyes, the fire that's kind of like burning off of him. I don't know if that's in focus. Let me try to get it to focus so you can see. The fire that's burning off of him, the smoke that's around him. I just heard Camelot went up in flames, which is from something. I'm not sure, but it's like that. It's like you burn shit down, like where you go, whether you are intending to or not. It's like I don't think that you're really. So what I'm getting is, okay, so I'm looking at this card, and it's like this guy looks like he's legit trying to do something good. It's like he's trying to defeat this monster. This is what I'm getting. This is how my intuition is working, you guys. It's like he's trying to defeat this monster, and he's being guided and looked over by this heavenly angel figure behind him, supporting him, encouraging him. It's a one-man show. This is the essence of true power, personal power. This is the essence of someone who is looking for external power and has to burn shit down. So there's literally nothing else except for this wolf, which then by default makes this wolf powerful. Do you get what I'm saying? Like nothing else has to be destroyed in this. Nothing's on fire. You can still see the structures along the side. Yes, water's splashing around, but it's water. It's not damaging. Do you know what I'm saying? He is going after the beast in this picture. That is his task. That's what makes him powerful. Because to go after this beast is to protect any other being around from possibly being eaten by this thing, for example. Or any ships passing through, he's preventing these ships from getting turned over. Like that, he's tapping into his power to defeat this monster for the good of himself and for everyone. He's taking power for reasons of selfishness, and it doesn't matter to him how destructive. I'm just getting masculine energy, so I'm saying him, but you don't have to be a him. You could be a female or a male. However, don't assign gender based on what I'm saying. Go with what resonates with you. And this wolf it's selfish. It's destructive. That's how it gets its power. It gets its power by taking power from everybody else. And if no one else can have power, then by default, you're going to have the power. That doesn't make you powerful. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what you have to reconcile. Like that is the wounded healer energy, this power hungry energy, this need for power, how you acknowledge power, be able to distinguish true personal power versus this power that's not even power. It's actually insecurity. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like being able to distinguish that, being able to acknowledge and accept and integrate these two parts of yourself, that it is okay to be a Virgo and a Sagittarius and a Virgo and a Libra. It's okay to be the catalyst of change and the masters of manifestation. It's okay to make a homemade cocktail and preserve your peace by meditating. Do you know what I'm saying? It's okay to have a little bit of bickering and laugh it off, and it's okay to be curious about each other. It's like these things can exist. It's okay. You're not less powerful because you're one or the other. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's like the journey. This is ultimately going to be such beautiful, powerful, nurturing, healing, abundant energy. Like you have the freaking Cleopatra card here. I almost started to say like you have you have the Cleopatra. All right, I guess never mind. It's not me. But like you have the Cleopatra card here. Whether you're a woman or not, it doesn't matter. It's what this card represents. Cleopatra is the freaking like she's a goddess, yo. She represents abundance and creation, fertility. This is like the essence of harnessing your power, not forcing it or being grabby, or like it's just like attracting it, cultivating it, harnessing it. Do you know what I mean? I'm just seeing like energy just kind of slowly, gently swirling around at your fingertips, at your, instead of having to like get a rope and like throw it and lasso it and pull it and put this trap and that, like that's not power. That's not power. That's aggressive. That's forceful. I just heard demeaning to you. It highlights insecurity. That's not power. And that's what you're learning. This is your wounded healer energy. Once you can reconcile that and understand and tap into and identify true power, and to know that it's personal. You don't get your power from external sources or from anywhere else. You get it from internally. It comes, you don't get it. You don't even have to get it. It is within. It's always there. You just have to tap in and access it. Every time you reach externally to get the power, it's like, I'm seeing like a counter, what is this called? Like a counterweight type thing. Like, okay, so what I'm seeing is like a scale. So it's like you have a scale, and as you put more weights on this side's going to go up. So it's like as you put more effort, energy into getting external power, like that's going to be the heavier part, which is not true power. So your actual true personal power, which is internal, is going to be lighter, weaker. Do you get what I'm saying? When you put more energy into your own internal power, I feel like somebody is asking like, well, how do I do that? What does that even mean? My internal power, like, how do I know what that is? How do I access that? The way that you have invalidated yourself, as I explained in the beginning, like these conflicting parts of you where like, if you're not sure what those conflicting parts are, a good exercise is to pay attention to how you feel. When you want something, or something excites you, or you're attracted to something, or someone, whatever it is, when you feel interested in something, how do you respond to that? Are you like, oh my gosh, like I want to pursue this? Or are you like, oh man, I can't do that because I'm going to be judged in this way, or people are going to think this about me, or this is not going to be acceptable to this person, or whatever the situation. If you find yourself doing that, that's where you're invalidating yourself. If it feels good in your, like internally in your energy, if it lights you up, that is in alignment with your soul. And what you have done is allowed people to take your personal power by telling you that that's not okay, believing it, and then living your life in that direction. So you're giving your power away. Every time you choose what someone else wants you to choose, you're giving your power away. Every time you choose what feels good to you, what is in alignment with you, you're choosing your own power. And that's not to say that what feels good to you right now is gonna always feel good, or it's not. Like, you're allowed to change and be in flow. This connects me back to the previous pile, so there's definitely a message there for you, because that's a part of this too. It's like levels to this. Do you know what I'm saying? So you also have here anger at the divine, so with it, it's like, I don't know, I feel like you're angry that, I just heard that you don't know better. Like, and by that I mean like, I'm getting, honestly, okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I feel like you would be the pile 3 that could feel a little like maybe angry at the divine that you can't do what I do. For example, like you can't tap into this energy or have these psychic gifts. And this is not to say that you do or don't. This is an example. So maybe this, for some of you, this legitimately does apply. Like you might Be the type of person that's like, God, why can't I do this? Or, you try, but you get frustrated because it's not coming to you as fast. And it's that power hungry, that grabby kind of energy. Like, I should be able to do this. I should be able to read tarot. I should be able to be psychic. I should be able to figure out what people are thinking all the time. Like, why can't you? Because you're power hungry, and you would use that in a way that the wolf would use it, for your own selfish gain, not in the way that this Hydra card would, for the benefit of the self and the collective, for the highest good of all. Do you get what I'm saying? So until you can recognize that, you're like cut off from that type of power. The only type of intuitive connection that you're going to get is like internal guidance to help you to integrate this. And then once spirit knows that you will use this responsibly, then, you know what I'm saying? Like, you'll gain more access. But not only that, you still also will have free will. So once you gain that access, if you decide to use it in selfish reasons, karma's still a real thing, whatever. That's all. It's like that will unfold how it unfolds, and that it's ultimately it's your journey for you to decide, because you know what I mean? Like, you have free will, and the universe will always bend to your free will. Why? Because it's your free will, your actions and your choices along this journey that cultivates your karma, and what type of lessons you have to experience in order for your soul to grow, or where you've already learned lessons and you've implemented that and integrated that into your system, and now you're doing differently, and you've been able to shift for the benefit of the collective, whatever. Now you have access and tapping into this abundance and the blessing, that whole thing. There's always free will. Sorry if you guys can hear that car alarm. So there's that. I feel like something about what I said might have been a little bit triggering. And I want to apologize if you do feel triggered by that. Because it's not, for one, again, I'm just a Leah. I'm just a channel. So take it up with spirit. Two, that would be a good opportunity to sit and ask yourself, like, why does that trigger me? What is it that I think this person is telling me that's wrong about myself? Or why am I so reactive? Because I feel like that's how you're receiving it. Like, I'm telling you something's wrong with you. And I feel like it had something to do with like this access to this power and this psychic gift. And like, you might be the person that like, I should be able to do that. This kind of like, almost, I want to say it in quotes, like this jealous energy. It's like it's okay. I'm hearing like, how dare they say that I'm jealous? And then like this person that's like going off in their mind, like, I have this thing, I can do this thing, da da da. That's a good opportunity for you to like take a breath, take a pause for a minute, and recognize how that's your insecurity showing up. If you feel like you're invalidating the truth of who you are by overcompensating and be like this grabbing energy. So let me try to break that down. That insecurity, okay, so like if you're the person that's like, well, I have this, I do this, da, 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 and you start listing off all these things, you are insecure about the fact that maybe you are jealous that you can't do this, or maybe you are a little power hungry, or whatever it is that I said that triggers you. You're insecure about that, and that's how you are invalidating yourself. Instead of sitting with that and saying like, okay, in what ways am I that person? How do I show that? Is that who I want to be? Why am I like that? How can I make these changes? What can I ask spirit as far as how to guide me out of this so that this isn't such a trigger? Instead of approaching it in that way, in a way that helps you shift your energy, shift your vibration, and show spirit that you will use these intuitive gifts and this power responsibly, you invalidate that by not acknowledging it and overcompensating by listing off all of the things that you do have. That's that power hungry, I'm going to take aggressive kind of energy. And then you cope with that and that trigger by turning to substances. And then the cycle continues and continues and continues. Because there's a duality about you that you're not recognizing. Someone has told you and reiterated this messaging to you somewhere in your life over a number of times, to the point that you have believed it, that there is a certain facet of you that's bad. That is not true. We all have dark and light elements within us. Everybody does. Everybody has insecurities. Everybody has things about them that, like, if everyone has a trigger, nobody escapes life unscathed. Do you know what I'm saying? I highly doubt anybody makes it to teenage years unscathed. And if you do, fucking call me up. Like, what's that like? You know what I'm saying? Okay, sorry, I'm going off on a little bit of a side tangent. The reason why I'm doing that, though, is because, like, Pile 3, I feel like you can be incredibly hard on yourself, and that's not without, I can understand why. You've had that message. That's how you've been programmed to talk to yourself. That's how other people have spoken to you. That is what, I can understand why. It doesn't need to be that way, though. That's not the truth. You've taken on this, I'm kind of going off, you guys. Please forgive me. I feel like some of you guys don't want to hear this right now, and that's cool. I don't want to be preachy. So I'm going to kind of like cut that off a little bit, because I honestly, for one, I respect you. Two, I trust you to make whatever decision it is. Who am I? Who am I but a person who sets up a camera and reads cards and energy and tells you about yourself? You know what I'm saying? Like that, even saying that, it's like, damn, that doesn't sound great. You get it? So like, of course you do. Of course you get it. So I'm not trying to preach you or talk at you. I trust your ability to make your choices, and this will work out. It will work out. I feel like if nothing else, you need encouragement, honestly. And I want to give that to you. Like, I feel like I want to give that to you, because this is definitely something that, like, I think that you might, so I don't want to minimize like the challenge of wounded healer energy and mastering that. Oh my God, you guys, is that not annoying to you? It is to me. I'm gonna have to pause this because I cannot take that. I literally cannot take that. My ear, like I can't. It's effing with my ASD and I cannot. So I'm gonna pause this until that's done so I can cover my ears, and then I'll be back. Okay, I'm back, Pile 3. Sorry about that, and thank you for your patience. So yeah, all right, let's get into how can you tell if you are integrating this energy or if you are resistant to this energy. The way that you can tell that you are integrating this is if you find that you are like, you have 7 of Cups here. So if you find that you are being like, how can I describe this? If you are less reactive and you take more time to kind of try to see through illusions and deceptions, use more discernment, you'll know you're starting to integrate that. If you can like see the various, like see things, I'm getting like see things in different perspectives, and then deciding which one is in alignment with where you're looking to go. Like if you want to be this Hydra instead of this Moromalakia, or however you say that. Yeah. If you want to be this man instead of this wolf or whatever, you get what I'm saying. If you want to tap into this personal power instead of external power, when you start to recognize that you, in situations where maybe you feel a little reactive or maybe you feel like you need to cope or whatever, if you stop and take stock and you're like, all right, let me actually think through the different paths. Like if I go down this path, in my experience, this is what happens. If I try this one, this is how I feel about this. There's also this option, whatever. And then kind of like taking account and moving in the direction that's more in alignment with that. And you'll know that by how it feels in your energy. That's the other thing, is if you're paying attention to your energy and how it's responding to certain things and choosing differently according to that, like honoring your own energetic system, your own intuition, honestly. That's how you'll know. Excuse me. You'll know that you're resistant to it if you are still looking for external validation. If you're still looking for external passions, if you're still looking to, like, outside of yourself to, I'm getting, like, console you. I heard coddle you, honestly. So that doesn't even have to be in, like, I'm getting coddle you. Honestly, it's weird because it's, like, your way of being coddled is, like, by maybe like having sex, or like someone that's like, yo, I got, this weed, come smoke, or like I bought these drinks, come over, or like whatever, like, you know what I mean? Like I'm like you want to, we're going to have a fight or something. I don't know. Whatever the addiction is, it's like that. Like that's your way of being coddled, quote unquote. So that's how you would know. There's also, you have kava kava here, which is this plant is actually really good for, like prophetic dreams, astral projection, psychic powers. I use this in my, my fixed candle, my P3 plus protection. I don't know if I ever told you guys that, but it's for psychic powers, astral projection, prophetic dreams, and protection. So the kava kava really is connected to like helping you with your psychic abilities and stuff like that. So I'm saying that with the caveat to like use discernment though. Do you know what I'm saying? Because you can invite in some pretty shitty fucking energies that can fuck you up. And I don't mean like, I mean, it's just like mentally, like if you're already in an unstable mental space, and by that I mean like maybe the way you think things through and how you make decisions. I don't mean that you have to have like a mental illness or anything like that, or maybe you're unstable in the way that you're choosing to cope. If you already feel like you're in that position, I wouldn't try to dabble into like psychic abilities, because again, the energies that you can invite in can be so fucking dangerous to you guys. Seriously, like be careful. But you have free will, so choose as you wish. I just want to put that disclaimer out there because I care about you. I know you care about you. You're just figuring out what's the proper way to be cared for. And that's all good. I feel that too. I'm just getting that message, the energy to like a support system. Like a support system that's like nurturing and kind of, it's like, I'm looking at this frog card and it's like someone who can relate to and understand you, like in the fact that they're both frogs, but also like not a yes man, not someone that's just going to show you exactly what it is that you want to hear, what you want to see, or what, you know what I mean? Like someone that's going to be honest with you and like illuminate the truths. I just heard, I'm hearing a song. It's like, illuminate the nose on the, if heaven and hell decide that they both are satisfied. Illuminate the nose on the vacancy sign. If there's no one beside you when your soul embarks, I'll follow you into the dark. So it's like that. And I don't mean dark as in like, that's not sinister. This is just this. I would research like light and dark. What does that mean? Shadow elements. Like, what does that mean? Do you know what I'm saying? But basically the energy of that and like the song is like, find someone that's like gonna like see you where you are, and a pile one, honestly, if you feel like listening to all these piles, find a pile one, a person that's gonna see you where you are and help you to integrate whatever it is that you're trying to integrate at the place that you are, so that you can continue to elevate. And they do that by basically telling you the truth, being honest with you, and not like sugarcoating or telling you what you want to hear or caving to your power demands. Like, they're boundaried. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, they will show you, they're not going to overwhelm you. You know, they like, you can ask the questions or lead. They're not going to force their way onto you, but they have, I just heard, I got the juice, which I've heard that before, and I'm pretty sure it's a Meek Mill song. It's from a line from a Meek Mill song, or Meek Mills is the one who sang it. I cannot remember the song title, but yeah, I got the juice, like someone who got the juice. So that's what I have for you, pile 3. I know that this is a little bit of a touchy subject, a little bit of a delicate situation, so I hope you've been able to make it here. And I really, really, truly, I know I say this in every pile, but it's because these messages come through so profound. I feel like they come through so profound, and I can just see the healing benefits in this. I can see how this can like be uplifting. I can see how once we can get past like the initial, don't get me wrong, I go through this too when I hear tarot readings, you guys. Like, it's difficult to hear about ourselves, especially when we're in a little bit of a defensive posture. So I can see that once I move myself out of that defensive energy and I, stop responding in a way that's like well, I have this and I have that, and that tries to justify or invalidate whatever, when I can take a step back outside of that energy and actually like, okay, is there any truth to this? Let me pay attention to my patterns or my way of thinking or my whatever this thing is pointing out to me, and seeing, do I do this? When I can get out of that emotional body and take a look at it and then be like, holy fuck, I do this. Then I can make the change. Like, shit, why do I, then that's when the goodness starts. Because then that's when I'm like, yo, why do I do this? Like, why do I do this? And then I'm able to actually I don't know if rationalize it is the right word, but it's kind of like I can actually like step outside of my emotions and my experience and see the truth. Like, why do I do this? Like, why is this a thing that I do? Is this is not beneficial. I obviously don't like that I do it because of how I reacted to the fact, like, this is a trigger here. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's like, damn, how did I even develop this? And it's acknowledging it, recognizing it. And then you don't even have to, depending on what your comfort level is, you don't even have to spend that much time on figuring out why you are that. Because that could be detrimental in itself when it becomes too focused on like, what did I do wrong? Don't even go down that route. Like, damn, why do I do this? Connect it to something. Oh, okay, I do this because my freaking parent used to do this to me all the time. So I learned how to do this. I don't know any other way. Okay, so now that you recognize that, you can go, now you're open. All right, well, how, what's another way? What's an appropriate way? Start paying attention to the shit that your friends send to you, say to you, the things you see on social media, various billboards, commercials, the shit that pops up on your YouTube. That's the universe then working to answer those questions. There's no such things as accidents. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there are no such things as accidents. You ask a question to the universe and then pay attention. Be open, be receptive, be in your feminine energy, which also connects to pile 2. And that's how you connect to this psychic ability. And that's when you can then be in this Hydra energy and use that. That's your personal power. You can use it for your benefit, for the benefit of others. And I'm getting like, now it's drawing me to the master of manifestation. This is going to help you to attract, manifest. So you don't have to reach and grab and take. You can attract, you can manifest. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to have this entitled energy. Like, it's mine, I got to get it. I just heard, don't you know who I am? Like, yeah, we all know who you are. So do you know who I am? It's like, who cares? For that, honestly, if that hurts your feelings, then that's a pretty good indication that you are still in this power hungry energy. And I don't really care to make you feel better about that. I know that's harsh and I'm sorry, but that's a part of the very thing that you need to be moving away from. So I'm not going to even justify that with a response. So, yes, so that's what I have for you, pile 2. Please, if you feel inclined, like, comment, subscribe, like the video, do all the things, whatever. I appreciate you contributing your energy because it's so great. And it certainly helps the channel grow. I feel like I'm rambling on, and I feel like now I'm one of those people that's like, oh my gosh, let me just say all the things to get the people to whatever. Do what you're going to do. If you like it, Thank you. I appreciate you. If you don't, it's all good. I'm rambling nonstop, so I'm going to go. And I hope to see you in another pile 3 in another video. Bye. Pile 4. This is incredible energy. This is I know people say, like, I don't know, tarot readers, I think they're like, oh, this is such beautiful energy, but like, truly, this is such fucking incredible energy. I'm like in awe and in amazement. Like, I can't, if you guys can see me, I have the biggest freaking smile. And I feel right now like tapping into this and being a part of this, I almost feel like honored. I feel impressed. I feel so like, I don't know. I like in awe. Is that the word? I feel like that's not even strong enough. This is really fucking impressive. I'm sorry. Excuse my language. this is just really incredible freaking energy. Let me tell you why. This is no easy thing that you have accomplished. Oh, I wanted to get another song. Let me do that real quick. Or, well, let me just wait, because maybe that'll come through. All right, let me get into it. I can't even, I'm so like, okay. I'm sorry, you guys. This is like hardcore, like tap dancing on my freaking like autistic intense joy. My autistic intense excitement. That's how I feel. So trying to like express this may be a little bit difficult. I'm sorry. I'm going to do my best. But there's like such intense excitement that like all I want to do is just like, you know what I mean? And like jump up and down and be so excited because this energy is really fucking incredible. And not only is this energy incredible, but like the ability to get to this point, like I feel like I'm so excited for you, because I can see the journey of this and where you are now. It's so beautiful. It's so graceful. Okay, let me back up. So first of all, what is your wounded healer energy? Your wounded healer energy is death. I don't know if you saw this fly out, if you watched the shuffle. Your ability to transform yourself, to transform from situations, to transform situations, and the process of that from start to finish in its entirety, that is your wounded healer energy. So anybody can come to you at any point in transformation and you will be able to help them along and like pick up. They can be at the very beginning, the very end, somewhere in the middle. And like you have mastered this journey of transformation and transition that you can easily pinpoint like, aha, okay, I see where you are. This is what you're working through. Here's how I can offer my help. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you can take it or leave it, but like you get it? Also, the other thing that was coming through right before I started was like I was so excited to eat. And I couldn't, it was like before any card came out. Then I noticed like this card came out. And actually I didn't look closely, but I think this is a platter of food. I could totally be wrong. What does that look like to you? Oops. What does that look like to you? Is that, what is that? Are those plant? Hold on, let me get closer. Actually, I'm not sure if those are flowers or not. And I don't know that it's going to focus. And maybe they're flowers. Anyways, it doesn't matter. I was so excited to eat. But a part of that so there's that. I'm not really sure why that came through. I am legit excited to eat, but I feel like specifically with this pile, that's significant. You also have the cacao. You have the Virgo who's holding this basket of like herbs and stuff. I'm just getting that you, first of all, you're very nurtured. This is okay. Your wounded healer energy, you're like, somebody said it so fucking magnificently one time, and I think it was Jess Puckett. Like your wounded healer energy is basically is like a midwife of spiritual transformation, spirituality, spiritual activations. Like you're able to usher people through these catalytic moments to get them safely to the other side. I'm looking how like calm and peaceful this card is, how serene, how beautiful. You know what? The other night I had a dream. I don't know if this is significant. I had a dream, and what stood out the most that I remembered about this dream was the sky and how it was this combination of like this blue, this soft orange, and like the whites of it. It looked like this. And then a couple days later, my daughter had pointed out, oh, look at the sky. And it looked exactly like that. And I was like, oh my God, I had a dream about that. And now it's showing me again. So I don't know if it was for this pile or if that's going to unravel or if that's significant or whatever, but something about the sky and that color, that's coming through. Like that orange and blue white combination. Maybe that's your favorite color. I don't know. That's significant to you for something. Can you let me know if that stands out for you? I don't know why that feels significant. Like I need to say that. Also the number 23 is standing out, which reduces to 5, which represents change, which is what you're all about, pile number 4. This was no easy thing to get to. So it's like, I feel almost like, God, now it like exerted so much energy and that excitement. Now I feel tired. That might be kind of like what you deal with too in this element of like being this midwife. Oh no. Okay. So yes, but also in that you've learned to care for yourself and to care for others. Like, you know what it takes. You've been through this journey. So you know what it takes, how it's demanding on your energy, on your body, on your voice. My voice is starting to get hoarse. Like the way that you have, that you give or offer advice, words of wisdom, and to like whatever it is, like the way that you offer whatever you offer. This is such an intricate. I'm hearing a delicate ecosystem, which came from a show that I recently watched, but it's like this is such a delicate ecosystem. It's so intricate, but it's also golly, this is like the paradox that's been coming through in all the piles, because it's like it's so delicate but it's so strong, right? Can you it's like this is reminding me actually of the strength card in the Major Arcana deck, which is a woman who is like gracefully closing or opening the mouth of a lion, you guys, a ferocious lion. Look how like calm and just subdued and demure this connection is. It's like respect on both parts. I heard honor on both parts. It's like the lion is protecting the woman is nurturing the lion. It's like they're giving to each other. Do you know what I'm saying? Okay, I'm gonna have to pause this because this happened in the last pile. Somebody's alarm is going off and it's driving me nuts. I cannot. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, thank you, pile 4. I'm back. And while I was away, I took a second to kind of just like lay across the bed and calm, relax, focus my intention so that I didn't become overstimulated. And in that, a message came through. I remembered that before I even started this reading, I started to feel kind of like tired. And then the messaging of like compassion fatigue came through. That's a real thing. So that's probably something that you experience pretty often in this wounded healer energy, which I'll get to in a second. I'll like specify that in a minute because something else came through. But it's this compassion fatigue energy where it's like you are so compassionate that if you don't nurture yourself, if you don't take the time to lay, rest, or acknowledge when you're overstimulated or when there's too much energy flowing around you, through you, whatever, and take a step away or nourish yourself with foods or like pleasing, calming, serene environments, nature, good drinks, good foods, good environment, like with wisdom. I'm getting Harry Potter from this. I don't really know why. So what, magic? I don't know. And then just like relaxation, whatever it is that like fills your cup. If you don't give that to you, you start to feel compassion fatigue. And then in that, it's kind of like you may become a little bit ungrounded. You may seem to lack creativity or become over emotional, but you have navigated this so well that you can at any moment kind of like take a step and stop and say like, okay, this is what I need. So that's your wounded healer energy, is being able to, energy. You know energy. You have mastered energy, your own and others, in a way that you know the needs of yourself or other people just through energy. Why? Because that's your wound, is having so many unmet needs in your lifetime. As a child, as an adolescent, even as an adult, you have had so many unmet needs that you have had to figure out how to meet your own needs, and you have mastered that. And in that ability to do that, you've been able to transform yourself, your situation, your environment, the way you see things, transform how you care for yourself, what you expect from other people as far as meeting your needs, like in relationships, for example. This is standing out to me now. So you have Scorpio and Capricorn. You may or may not be any one of these signs. Who they are, the ambitious goal setters. And that's you. It's like you'll set goals, but you'll also like it's like you'll check in with yourself constantly. Okay. Where you'll find them quietly reading their favorite novels in their home library. Exactly. Like this is you being able to know how to manage yourself, your energy. What you'll remember, their love feels safe and secure. You have this very safe energy that allows people to be their true self, to kind of let down their guard, take off their armor, that sort of thing, because you have cultivated that within yourself. Not only that, but you like are a type of person that if you know you need to pull away from the social scene or just from so much external like stimulation environments where there's a lot going on, to kind of just like rebalance, to ground and center, to connect intuitively, like you'll do that. You have the World here, the Tower here, which are major arcana cards, and the Queen of Cups, which is highly intuitive. Plus you have intuitive here also. It's like you have this mechanism that is so, it's a good balance of like, oh my God, you guys. Oh, that's the other thing is like that. So that's what that's reminding me is like, I feel like you are pretty good with kind of going with the flow. Like you're not so rigid in a plan, like, because you understand energy is always moving, energy is always changing, it's always connected to something, the circle completion, like that's you're able to wrap up cycles in this death energy, this change. You have 3 major arcanas actually, and then I'm going to call this the strength card, so we're going to call that 4 major arcanas, because I know this says circle and this is alchemy. Yes, it's like you have the ability to, I think alchemy came out in pile 1 also, but it's like you have the ability to kind of like meld 2 things that seemingly don't go. Do you know what I'm saying? You have, okay. You guys, I'm going to have to pause this again. What a choppy, something about that is significant though, like interruptions. I feel like you may have, that might have been a part of your experience, like these kind of like getting knocked down or twists or turns, kind of like the unknown. Like you're really good with like, because energy is always changing. That's what I was saying. So you've been able to like connect with that and figure out how to roll with the punches. Like you might need to like take a second to like kind of step back and like, all right, let me kind of regroup, refocus, reposition, because this thing kind of spun me around or whatever the situation is. And you can kind of like refocus and then pick back up. I'm seeing this boat. I know it's obviously literally not moving, but I'm seeing it just kind of like going with the movements of the wave. You know what I mean? It's like not, you do as much as you can to not, to just kind of be in flow, to just go with whatever is going. And that's not to say that it's like at any moment you're like, oh, this is so great. Like, it's like you're still a human, you're still a person. So sure, things might shake you up still, but I feel like with your pile, more than most people probably that surround you, your ability to kind of like, I just heard shuck and jive with the changes. Okay, I heard is immaculate. Especially in comparison to like maybe the interactions you have or the people that's around you, maybe even like family members. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, sorry, pile 4. You have a lot of interruptions. So while I had you on pause there for a second, I was kind of just looking out the window because I'm fucking nosy. And also I take everything as a sign. So I felt like that was, I needed to see like, it doesn't matter. So I did see a crow, which okay, I'm sorry, I'm going off. But anyways, so I took that as a sign, whatever. It was kind of going for a little while. And I was like, looking, saw a couple things, getting some intuitive messages, and I'm like, all right, well, you know, let me just go lay down across the bed, and whenever it stops, it'll stop, and I'll start recording. Literally, as I said that, and I was about to go lay across the bed, it stops. There's a message in there about that, like your ability to just kind of like acknowledge a situation for what it is and do what you can do in the moment, if you're able to do anything, and just kind of like try to keep this like peaceful, calm, whatever. And then like it'll pass. Like it'll let me just kind of roll with the punches kind of energy. And it's like your ability to surrender. That's what it is. Like when you're able to kind of surrender, that's not to say that you don't experience turbulence, because you're a human and you still experience situations and life happens, and yes, you may get shaken up and whatever and all these things. But then eventually you get back this circle. It's like eventually you get back to the point of like, all right, let me surrender and embrace. And this is gonna come, this is gonna, okay, at this point, this is a joke. It's like that. It's like you have this energy where like, I don't know, it's like, I don't know. You've gotten to a point where you can kind of, I feel like you've had experiences that have been so major. A lot, maybe like a lot of tower moments, a lot of sudden changes in your life to the point that now it's almost the expectation. And that doesn't mean you don't have a response or reaction to it, but I think that you're able to kind of like surrender to it and release control more easily than maybe more of your peers or your counterparts. Because you've had so much change. It's in, like you just kind of it's like you take these moments like this whole what is that, the what is it called, the car horn, okay, so that now has stopped. Literally when I said that, it's like you take these moments of like the car horn going off as signs and kind of like an intuitive navigational system, a sign. And just the same way that I said that and it stopped, it's like that's the sign for me that like that was the message of that. That was the point that needed to be made. You know what I mean? How you are kind of like so in flow and observant and you allow, gosh, this is such, I don't feel like I'm doing a great job because this is such an intricate message. It's such a very evolved system of self and how you connect to energy. Of just in general, how you connect to energy in general. It's so wise. It is so wise and direct. Like all of these owls, and it's like, I'm getting that this is like a journey. I'm getting that you've always been that way, even as like a little kid. It's so wise. And like, I'm getting like masculine and feminine energy, like your ability to like take action, like knowing when to take action and when to just kind of calm and be surrender and observant and receptive. Knowing like, yeah, like, and for this one, I'm just getting like, it's like, how can it's like an outside energy. Oh, that was the other thing is like when I was on pause, I feel like there's an outside energy that's trying to come in to this reading that wants to be like a part of it, wants to be known, that kind of wants to be like, in your energy field, in your realm. It's like you're in your own little world, man, with your animals and your fruits and your water. Water may be significant, like being by the beach, the sky in general, that was coming through. Nature, beach, lakes, like some sort of water element. You're super connected in that way. I'm getting such intuitive energy, such wise intuitive energy. Like you have owls, you have the cat here, which is super intuitive and protective. Listen, cats are really good with freaking energy. Then you have the lion. Like, come on, man. This person, it's like you're in your own little world. That's your wounded health, like the wounded healer. It's like you've cultivated this, like a surety. Is that the right word? Like this sense of self that's like you're so sure about, you're so comfortable and confident. It's like it's not that you're like, this is not like I have an electric fence around me, I'm so guarded and protective, no one come near me. You know what I mean? It's like you are boundaried and protective and in your own world, and like you'll invite people in if they are at that frequency. Like if they are matching this vibe, you know what I'm saying? If this is what they're bringing to you, peace, serene, beauty, luxury, elegance, decadence, experience, acceptance, embraciveness. No, is that the right word? Like embracing, protection, food, definitely food. I think you like really like food. I feel like if somebody wants to know like the best way to like get to your heart, or like, you know, maybe if it's like they need to break the ice or whatever the situation is, like if food is involved, you're like, all right, I'll hear you. Fine, you can come. Like, fine, if you bring the food, you can come to my beach. You know what I mean? Like you have the freaking cacao, for goodness sake. This is the first food one that has come out in any of the readings that I've done with this deck so far that I can remember. Anyways, so yeah, I don't know if I don't feel like I did a really, I feel almost kind of right now, I feel very like euphoric. Tapping into your energy, I almost want to go to sleep. I feel like that's not that you're boring, like it's just so peaceful and nurturing and secure and like I feel safe here. It's so safe. Like I can sleep here. Like I can just relax, let my guards down. Like nothing's bothering me. I just want to stretch, relax, and like doze off and go to sleep. Even my voice, like I didn't do that on purpose. My voice just started to go out. It's kind of like that. Like everything just kind of relaxes and like I can rest. This, like anybody that has like a high, what is it called? Like if their nervous system is on high alert, like when they get around you, it's like they can relax. I just heard respite, like you're a respite. That's what you have mastered for yourself. That is your wounded healer energy. Like, okay, so with the Tower card now that I'm getting in this World card, like the energy of chaos, that was coming through. Oh, that was the other message that was coming through. It's like you have learned how to create order out of chaos. This is like the cosmos, which is order, and order, structure, divine plan, all that stuff, and chaos. Like you've been able to master the integration of that. Like making order out of chaos or embracing chaos, which is the feminine element. Order, cosmos is masculine. The order, structure, of course it is. I feel like I'm talking to you like I'm like, dude, like a hippie. Like I'm like, dude, have you ever seen Finding Nemo? And you know the Squirt's dad, I can't remember, the one who's like 102 years old. That's how I feel about your energy and tapping into your energy. The scene that I'm seeing is like they're on the, what is it called? It's like a current, a water current. And these sea turtles, which are huge, they just kind of ride it. They don't put really so much effort. It's like it just takes them, right? So that's a symbolism. That's kind of what you're just like going along with the current. And if you need to, you can use your paddles to get out of it or whatever. Like you know how to navigate that. But also in this pack of sea turtles, I don't know if it's called pack or not, but in this group of sea turtles, there's the big turtle, who I cannot remember his name, or just gonna call him Mr. Turtle. He has a son named Squirt, and they're playing or whatever, and then Squirt accidentally gets knocked out of the current. So he's having to like flap his fins or whatever, you know what I mean, outside of the current. He's not being taken along with the rest of them. And then Marlin, the fish who lost Nemo, his son Nemo, starts freaking the fuck out. And he's like, oh my God, what are we going to do? And then Mr. Turtle's like, dude, relax. Let's see what young Squirt's going to do, how he's going to handle this challenge. And he like gives him space to figure it out. And in that, Squirt comes back in, which reaffirms Squirt's confidence to be able to take on challenges and navigate that situation. And also, it also kind of imparts that wisdom of like, dude, relax, go with the flow. It's all going to work out. It's going to be fine. You know what I mean? Like, no need to panic. That only makes the situation worse. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's your energy. That's what you've mastered. And like tapping into that, it feels so just like zen and calm. And like, I just want to be like, dude, it's all chill, bro. Also, I want to eat. So maybe you might smoke. Oh my God, this is such like hippie vibes, and I fuck with it 100%. I love it. Can we be friends? Pile 4. Can we be friends? If so, please comment down below and let me know. Because I fuck with this energy. Not because I want to be a vampire. I don't want to steal your energy. I can relate to this. This is my pile. So I can relate to this but that's why I want to be your friend, so I can relate to you and be like, yo, let's talk about our commonalities. But even with anybody that can't relate to this. Anyways, I'm going off. So anyways, there was a message that was coming through. You already know this though, but just be mindful about how you're caring for yourself. Compassion fatigue is a real thing. So of course, with your boundaries, you know when you need to pull back and you can't really give your empathy, your compassion or whatever. But I feel like I don't even need to say this to you. Like, I feel like you already know this and you don't really feel the need to explain or really harbor guilt when you can't, be everything to everyone at all times. Cause you're like, are you kidding me? I just heard I'd be a robot, but so maybe that, but I was also what I was thinking was like, I'd be depleted. Yeah. So Something about grounding is coming through. I'm also, this Taurus card is standing out here, which is an earth sign. And this represents like grounding, stability for me. So anyways, all right, I'm going to be here all day because this feels so good. I actually want to eat and go take a nap. So that's what I have for you, pile 4. I hope that you appreciated this message. This is really incredible energy. And honestly, like, I'm not making a judgment, but it seems like you are the most evolved in this, like, wounded healer of all of the piles. Maybe. You're definitely very secure and stable. Okay, I'll be here all day talking to you. Obviously, I love your energy. So that's what I have. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe if you so choose. I appreciate you being here, sharing your energy, this energy specifically. It was great. And I hope to see you in another video at another point sometime in the future. Thank you, Pile 4. Bye.